Hi there, today we're going to have a look at the Boeing 747-200 Classic from Felis. This has been provided to me from Xplane.org. This aircraft was first designed back in 1965 by Joe Sutter when he left the 737 development program, and it first took to the skies on September the 30th, 1968 when it came out of the Everett plant in Seattle. The world was very different then, everything looked different. I'm not even sure we had colour TV, but it was a different world. And then we had the Queen of the Skies.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. On behalf of the entire crew, welcome aboard the Boeing 747 Classic.
All doors and hatches are closed.
After we have our closed, the cabin crew is finished with their preparations. For now, I wish you a pleasant flight, and I will be back during the flight with further flight information.
That's right, the Queen of the Skies, the jumbo jet, the most beautiful aircraft to grace the skies of the world, the United Kingdom, Americas, Europe, Asia, everywhere. This aircraft is absolutely stunning. And this aircraft, this one in Xplane by Felis, has been 3 years in development, 3 years in the making, and it represents the epitome of aircraft in the Xplane environment. It's absolutely stupendous. The rendering, everything about it is absolutely incredible. It's one of the most complex aircraft that I've come across, and I must admit, even though I've had it for just over a week, it's taken me at least 3 evenings whereby I've been learning how to start the engines and get to grips with this aircraft. It's beautifully modelled. It looks absolutely superb from every aspect. Whichever way you look at it, this aircraft just looks fantastic. Look at the cockpit here as I scroll through it, pan through it. It's wonderful. Everything is where it should be and has an engineer's station, and it is just superb. There's 2 ways of flying it. You can fly it with the FMC or you can fly it with INS. I've chosen to fly it with FMC. It's not as complicated as the INS, obviously. There are an amazing number of systems within this aircraft, and they're all modelled accurately. If I try to go through them all, it's going to take me forever. I'm going to put up a text on the YouTube channel with it so you can see all the systems, but there's a full electric system with all buses, fuel system that requires proper fuel management, fire detection system, 4-channel system, pneumatic system with actual pressure calculations, custom pressurization, and air conditioning system. It's got detailed modelling, fully modelled exterior with lots of accurate animations. There's a passenger cabin, highly detailed cockpit with every button and switch and knob works, and I mean literally everything works and has its own sound. There's an electronic flight bag which integrates the AVI tab, but also integrates some unique features to this particular aircraft as well. You'll see this in a minute because I'm going to do a cold and dark start. I wasn't planning on doing any kind of tutorial, but I did decide that I would do a cold and dark start, and here we are. And the first thing I really need to do is get the chocks on and the ground power. So I'm going to let it run through and you can hear it.
Cockpit to ground, remove the chocks. Cockpit to ground, put the chocks on.
As you can see, wonderfully detailed with everything working, all the knobs and switches and all the lights on the panel there. You have to do everything in a particular order, and as I say, it took me 3 days to learn it. The satisfaction though that you have at learning something so complex as this aircraft. Simply amazing, and every panel, every switch is just perfect. Just putting the no smoking and seatbelt signs on. and starting the APU and going through the pressurization panel, etc. It's amazing. It's got a full custom Delco carousel IVA inertial navigation system, so there's three INSs to a line, and you can do them in real time or fast. Just coming to the overhead here now and getting ready to start the engines.
Ready for engine start. Starting engine 1. Start valve open.
There's 4 engines, and of course you have to do everything in the correct sequence. And you start, when you flick the switch to start the engine, you have to wait for the N2 rotation to get to 20% before you put the fuel in. And you can start the engines up in any sequence you want. I go 1, 4, 2, 3.
%, and
There
2.
we go.
Fuel on. Light up.
Just injecting the fuel there now.
Starter off. Starter valve open.
Now starting engine 4.
Engine stabilized.
I kind of run out of superlatives with this aircraft because it is just so beautiful.
20% and 2. Fuel on. Light up. Starting engine 2. Starter valve open.
The autopilot in this is very different, something you need to learn.
Starter off. Starting engine 3. Starter valve open. Engine stabilized.
You saw my FMCs then.
20% and 2.
I changed the when it came to engine 2 and 3.
20% and 2.
I speeded up
Light up.
the
Fuel
startup sequence in so much as I did it quicker
up.
rather than waiting for one engine to
Starter
stabilize, etc. But however you do it, you can do them in any order you want. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever.
Engine stabilized.
There's so much about this. I mean, I haven't even taken any images or any video of the cabin, but the cabin is absolutely fantastic. The seats in there, everything within the cabin is perfectly drawn. It just looks wonderful. The 3D, I should imagine in VR this will be
Starter off.
amazing, but you will need quite a machine to run it. That said, it is really well optimized. The aircraft is very well optimized, good frame rates, even on my aging i7 now.
Starting engine 3. Starter valve open.
And just finishing off in the cockpit,
20%
making sure
and 2.
everything's
Light up.
turned off the way it should be, and
Starter off.
isolation packs, and make sure the APU is off, etc. And what we'll do now is we're going to taxi out and take off, I think. Yes, here. So pushing back, I'm going to do a Brecon 1 Alpha departure out of runway 30 at Cardiff. So it's just quite literally just taxiing down to the runway and a takeoff. Going back to some of the systems within this aircraft. It's got a fully custom autopilot with auto land function, but it is very different from any kind of modern Boeing. The auto throttle system is separate from the autopilot with EPR limiting system. Radios are powered by Toto Rico's lib radio and open weather plugins, fully integrated into aircraft systems, and the sounds is complete F-mod sound system by TSS. So really, really wonderful sounds, as you can hear. I'm assuming you can hear them. It is it is a wonderful aircraft. It is expensive, let's make no bones about it. So it's $70 US, which works out at around about £54 in the UK, and obviously in euros. I'll put the prices up on screen somewhere around about now as we roll down the runway. One thing you do realise with the 747 is they're massively overpowered, and I think I took off in about half the runway. Just over half the runway I was rotating.
Rotate.
There we go, absolutely beautiful. So question is, should you buy it? Well, if you are a fan of classic aircraft, a bit older than some of the modern ones, then most definitely. It is, as I say, it is expensive. It's $70, but you can see where every dollar is. As I say, Felis spent 3 years developing this. He's only really done 2 aircraft in recent years. The PW JT9D-7J, which was an amazing aircraft with everything written in Russian in the cockpit, so you had to learn where the switches were. One thing I will say, there's no tutorial with this. You do get 4 manuals. One manual is called Dark Start, Normal Procedures. Then you have a manual regarding the INS and how to program the INS, and then there's another manual which covers the autopilot, and the 4th one is normal procedures. Yeah, so there's four manuals or guides, but there's no tutorial. That said, there are lots of tutorials all over the internet. I've seen them. Some of them are very good, some of them are just somebody just going through the aircraft, no talking. You can't even see the cursor, so you don't know where, you can't follow along, so to speak. I hope you found this video useful. As always, my name is Barrett. This is Xplane Dedicated. Also, can I say, Felis nor Xplane.org have had any input on the content of this video. They have not paid me any money to say anything good or bad, and trust the independent review. Full discretion though, Xplane.org did provide me with this review copy. Take care now. Cheerio.